Boy, allow me to educate you. Every young man must answer one question at some point of his life. Am I truly a man? Here is the dark reality. If you listen to society on how to become a man, you will end up becoming feminine and weak, with low testosterone. There is a reason why our ancestors had much more testosterone than the current generation. Their bones were much stronger too. Listen, it has always been hard to transition from a boy into a man, but it has now become harder than ever before, especially if you didn't have a strong father figure to guide you. In the modern world, a guy will be misguided and deceived. You will find fake terms like toxic masculinity. There is no such thing as toxic masculinity. It is made up by the feminist movement to shame men. It could even be made up by people above the feminist movement to weaken and control society. But this video is not about that. We will go over 5 things that turn a boy into a man. Number 1, know how to suffer. A man must know how to suffer in silence. You see, every man experiences different forms of pain, mentally, physically, and often the pain of other people that depend on you. The reality is that a man doesn't have someone else to fall back on. There is no crying and expecting people to care or feel sorry for you. If you are a man, that luxury is reserved for women and children only. The modern world will tell men it's good to cry. The opposite is true. Other men lose respect for a man that breaks down crying, and women will lose attraction for him. I'm not saying you can never cry. We are all human, and there are moments where it is okay to do so. But if the pressure becomes overwhelming, crying won't solve anything. You won't get any mercy or pity. It will only signal to other people that you are not capable of handling your problems. Instead, as a man, you must learn how to suffer and how to endure. Know how to deal with insane pressure. A boy can be selfish and drop all responsibilities when the pressure becomes too much. A man still has to remain resilient and face difficulties head-on, instead of falling into despair or using unhealthy coping strategies. If there ever comes a moment where you do cry, make sure it is in private or in the company of very close brothers who you can trust. You might think this is toxic, but it is the reality of life as a man. And it's a good thing. Diamonds are forged under intense pressure. It is that pressure and suffering that creates strong men that others can count on. Number 2, embrace violence. The world can be a dark place, and there are people that will do evil things you can't even imagine. That is why every man needs to have the capability to be dangerous, both for his own sake and for his loved ones. Every man has a duty to protect himself and his loved ones, and you cannot be peaceful unless you're capable of great violence. If you are not capable of violence, you are not peaceful but harmless, meaning that people can do whatever they want to you and everyone you care about. Here's the truth. Every guy knows they lack something if they can't fight. It is something we intrinsically feel inside because it takes a lot of hard work and effort to become dangerous. You will find many guys pretend they are too ethical to be dangerous. They will say things like, "I'm against violence, so I would never get into a fight." It is cowardice disguised behind morality. The coward is more pro-violence than the warrior because the coward will never attempt to stop violence if it comes their way. If you are truly against violence, you understand how important it is to be strong and dangerous. Number 3, take risks. No one ever gained anything just by sitting still and not doing anything. Take risks and create the life you want. Life is all about taking risks, understanding and learning where your boundaries lie, and creating the life you want. Once you start and begin achieving some success, the ensuing changes cause a ripple effect that shifts how boys relate to themselves. They start to see that it is within their own personal power to create the life they want, which is powerful. Stop living someone else's life. Stop thinking you need to do something for the sake of doing it. Find your creative potential that lives within you and take the risks needed to go out and create it, even if it is hard. Number 4, take ownership. Men must own everything in their world. No matter what happens in your life, there is always ownership you can take. It's scary to assume responsibility for anything, let alone our life. We're conditioned to shift blame and make excuses when things don't work out the way we hoped. Most guys will shift the blame for a failure, and that is why they can't learn or grow from it. Taking complete ownership comes with the weight that most aren't willing to carry, but you must carry that weight in order to become a man. We all have a finite amount of time here on this earth, and for that reason, time is our most valuable asset. To add weight to that statement, none of us know how much time we have, and that should make this next sentence stand out. Living an unauthentic life spent blaming people and circumstances for our dissatisfaction is the biggest waste of time and life that exists. There are 4 things you must understand if you want to know how to take ownership. Stop blaming people and circumstances. Understand what is in your control. Be accountable for everything within your control. And don't talk about problems without a focus on solutions. When you understand and apply this, you stop making excuses and you control your own path in life. Do you understand how powerful this is? Number 5, testosterone. Testosterone is the very basic hormone that influences your dominance and masculinity the most. Any male with very low testosterone is just the shell of the man he could be. Just look at any house cat and see how they change when they have their reproductive capabilities removed. You will notice that cat gains weight and becomes lazy. It loses its drive completely. We live in a world where there are countless bad habits that lower your testosterone on a daily basis. If you watched this video until the end and want to know the best ways to naturally increase your testosterone, leave a comment down below. By the way, if you want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Until next time.